Shortt, you're a total disgrace. Have a seat. You're a total disgrace. Oh, you're putting on the jackets now.
Yeah, put on the jackets. Yeah, we bought them especially for the show.
Well, listen, this very small extract that we've just seen is, of course, part of a bigger show that's starting at Andrews Lane next Monday, and I saw it when you were there last time, and it is the funniest thing that I've ever seen. Now, for the benefit of our viewers at home, can you fill them in a bit on what the show is about? Because it's a unique type of comedy anyway.
Yeah. What we use is we use a wedding situation, and what we do is we bring members of family, a typical Irish family or any family anywhere in the world together, and the two musicians link the actual show, because the show starts as an award ceremony for the two musicians.
You've just won the best, what is it, the best?
Wedding Pub Band of the Year award.
Yeah, you were very good, all right, you were great.
And so it goes back in time as Tom, which Pat tells the story of. He's Tom in the show, and he starts to reminisce about their big break, which is this wedding. And then what happens is we go back into the wedding, where the members of the audience become members of the wedding and the family. Bride and groom come from the audience. And,
so the poor audience is there at your mercy. You're just going down to the audience and picking out people at random and making them act and come up on stage. Is that right, Pat?
Yeah, they're dragged into it very much throughout the whole thing. And we don't stop for an interval or anything. We keep the whole... what we do is inside in the theatre, and normally with a theatre there's a bar or someplace where you get tea, depending on where in the country you are. And what we do is we bring them from there in, and we have a wedding cake there, and I'm giving away all the surprises.
It's a very high energy performance, the whole thing, because you're not even taking an interval.
Yeah, it's kept going solid for about 2 hours.
Yeah. Talk to me, John, about some of the characters in it.
Well, what we tried to do was kind of touch on things that people would relate to. Like we have with them, Johnny and Mary are from the audience, and then after that their aunts and uncles and friends will say there's one who comes home from England, Uncle Martin. And Martin is I'm sure a lot of people in Ireland know a Martin or have a Martin in their house or related to a Martin. And Martin is a... This is not rehearsed or anything, okay?
Go on.
And we do Martin, it's just like we do all the characters ourselves. There's like about 10 or 15 characters in the show which we do. And so there's a lot of costume changes as well. But Martin is well, you know, I mean, well, it's great, isn't it? I mean, a bloody day like today, you know, but bloody baby, I don't know how you live here, really, you know, with the placid drink. I mean, drink over now, drink over, bloody things are booming over, you know, bloody hell, I don't know. I mean, drink over's about, let me see, I tell a lie now, hold on, drink over's about, 95 pence a pint over for drink, you know, bloody hell, and the roads, I don't know how you do it here, you know, I mean, the roads are much better, like, but I come over and back in the ferry, like, which is great, like, you know, a day like today, you know, and see everyone, like, isn't it, you know. Oh, it's great. I mean, you know, it's bloody hell. I don't know how you live here, you know, getting petrol over is about, let me see, tell a lie now. Petrol over is about 95 pence a pint over for petrol, you know, and the roads are better. Bloody hell, I don't know how you live here, you know. And you see, Martin...
You have another great one in, apart from Martin, John. What's the one who's been at the christening? At the christening, yeah, and Bridie's.
Bridie's, that's Jack, yeah. Jack is a lovely character, although he gets up to all this mischief. Something about him is he's able to laugh at everything. He's very nice, you know, but he drinks too much, you know, but he likes to boast about his drinking, you know, like... Well, like, you know yourself now, like, you know what I mean? What would, like, there be no point in drinking, like, you know what I mean? Jenny Jacker's now a good Christian or anything, like, you'd put away about 4 crates of Guinness at it, like, you know what I mean? A half bottle of whiskey be nothing like a handy man. But you couldn't be telling that to young fellas because they can't pace themselves, you know what I mean? Because I'm always pacing is the name of the game, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know? And he justifies his drink and he brings religion and all into it, the wedding feast of Cain and everything comes into it, you know? So,
John, Pat, how did you get into all this? Because you were a very serious sort of art student, weren't you, in Limerick?
I still am a very serious person, actually. I just gonna fall into this trap. But yeah.
He loosened you up a bit, I'd say. I definitely think so.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I was the most serious of all the art students in Limerick. If I was to say that, I'd be killed when I get back to Limerick. But yeah, I spent a year in the college, but I kind of always knew I wanted to get involved in the entertainment business of some degree. Actually, it was music I set out to do initially.
You're a fine clarinetist.
And I can play the saxophone a bit better than that.
Oh, you can.
But yeah, so I actually hitched up with John somewhere along the way.
How did you start out doing with John?
Just basically working on the odd few sketches. And
first night, he was with me for about 6 months before he come on stage, you know. He used to play the sax, and I used to tell him, you know, that's great, you should come up and do a bit of sax, because he used to do some work side of stage and that. So he agreed he would come on, and we used to do this sketch where Pat would play the saxophone. But he played the sax and he'd never come on stage. He'd hide in a corner, and like this. He was doing that for about a year and a half, you know. So
he needed
so
something like you.
It took him a while to get
out of it.
Yeah.
Came out of it.
How do you actually put this show together? You've written it all yourselves, John, is that right?
Yeah. Right, yeah.
How long does it take?
Well, we didn't allow ourselves enough of time last year. Actually, we rewrote the show 3 times before we actually went on with it, you know. And we only allow ourselves about we can only afford to take maybe 4 weeks to 5 weeks off in the year, you know, because when you're self-employed, if you're not working, well, you're not getting paid, you know. So you need to put as much time into writing as possible. So maybe this year, because things have gone a bit better, we might be able to take a bit more time. But normally only 6 weeks, which is not an awful lot.
Very little indeed. Where do you get your characters from? I mean, do you go around sort of noticing people's idiosyncrasies?
Well, I just think they're real.
Yeah.
I mean, not so much, it's very hard to describe it, but like, I think it's not, having seen what we've done, it's not like it's just stand up and tell jokes, you know. It's more about people. And people that, we are all funny, we all are funny, and people do funny things, and they're just exaggerated, I think, you know. And there's a series, I mean, the Martin character there has a very serious side to him when you suddenly realise at the end of the sketch that he's very lonely, that he's been away from home for 45 years, and he's still living in London, and his wife has died, and his family have grown up and left him, and you're left with this kind of, and there is, you know, it's just about real people, and I suppose we do observe real people and try because that's what people relate to, I think, you know.
Pat, your particular character in it, how would you describe him? He's a bit sort of stupid, isn't he?
He is a bit,
a bit thick.
He's not so much stupid. He's very ordinary, you know. He ordinary in the sense that. I suppose he's simple, you know. Simple things keep him happy, but he's very devious too in other ways because he's always constantly ripping off John's character,
getting the money,
and the money end of things. So he's a devious person.
Would it be difficult for you now to play that character out of character, so to speak, just sitting there without your props and all the rest of it? Being this shy person.
Well, let me think. It's hard to kind of, when you put on a costume, you put on the person. Kind of, that's the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
So 2 or 3 things he might talk about is the fact that his idea of the outfit is to make it more semi-professional than the semi-professional outfits in the parish, and that someday become the most semi-professional of all the semi-professionals. So that's why he gets things twisted up like that. That's his outlook on life.
You've been playing now all over the country, haven't you, Pat?
Yeah, we've done a lot of work around the country, and we've done a lot of work this year abroad actually as well.
Yeah. Oh, where were you abroad?
Well, we started off the year, we opened the show in Dublin, then we went straight from there to Zambia.
Zambia?
Down in Africa.
What are you doing in Zambia?
Gigs.
Gigs in Zambia. What sort of gigs, John?
We did. There's a hell of a lot of expats in Africa. A lot of Irish people working in agencies and that, and for commercial companies over. So one of the biggest nights in Lusaka is actually St. Patrick's Night. And we were invited over to do the St. Patrick's Night ball there. So we did that, and we had a nice holiday. We travelled around there, but we're going to go back again because it's just an interesting place to be. It's so different.
I should think so. You're starting now in Andrews Lane next week, is it?
Andrews Lane on Monday.
How long is the run?
For 3.5 weeks, from next Monday, which is the 30th, to the 23rd of December, and then we're in Kells tomorrow night. And at the weekend we're in Bulgatin down in County Limerick, and we're in Cahir. So we have 3 one-night stands, and then we do the run. And hopefully we want to go back to America again, because we spent 2.5 months in America this year in the Irish Arts Centre in New York, and we'd like to thank Andy Bresnan, actually, a man from Kells, who came over to Ireland to see our show last year, liked last year's show, brought us out to do it. He's brought us out twice now, and although he's not in the entertainment business, he liked what he saw, and he helped us, you know. And that's a very nice thing, you know.
It's a unique form of comedy and of theatre comedy and that, and somebody said in the Sunday Press recently about it, it's probably the best comic act to emerge in recent years in Ireland, and I think it's fantastic, and I can't wait to go back and see you again next week. John and Pat, thanks a million. Thank you.